can give us a lot of information, right, about their diet and age and sex and all of that. So I got this 3D printed for my collection, and that on the right you have the original fossil, how it looks like. And we also have these long range scanners. So we started scanning the site of Dholavira, which is in Kutch, huge, massive 100-hectare Harappan site with big fortification and gate, and the town is divided into different sections. If you ever go to Kutch, please visit the site. And on the right you have, on the left you have the gateway of Dholavira, on the right you have the Swaminarayan temple at Dwarka. So the team decided to scan these two places, and again, okay, so this is the outcome of that. I think this project is still in progress, so these are some initial results, but of course they're going to better it over time. So my part is that as an archaeozoologist, I want to create a repository of all the animal species that are particularly endemic to India, and it will help us to to identify the species and the animal skeletal part, because most of the time we deal with fragments and we cannot travel to different labs or universities just to check the few fragments that we have. There are a lot of bureaucratic hurdles as well, getting permissions, access, etc. So many UK universities have beautiful virtual repositories where they have scanned all the animal bones, all the human remains that they have found, and it's not just singular remains that you click on and you move your mouse around to see the 3D view. They actually come together and they articulate, and you get the entire skeleton of the animal. So this is an example. You can do, as many of you pointed out, you can measure, you can do a lot of things with this. So this is what I am aiming for the Indian species, but I've just started out. So the last bit, fortunately I had a student who approached me last semester. He was a final BTech electrical engineering student, very brilliant student who had heard about our center and the kind of work I was doing. So he came and said he wanted to do a small independent project with me using these scanners available in IIT Gandhinagar. So I immediately jumped at the idea. I told him, okay, let's start with the bones in my lab. These are modern animal bones, not from the archaeological site. And I had, so far I've collected around 11 species. So whenever an animal dies on the campus, I have requested the gardeners to bury it, so that once they decompose, I can exhume them and add them to my collection. So I have mongoose, cat, dog, lots of birds. And a friend of mine, a cave explorer from France, his name is Jean-Pierre Montel, he was exploring the caves of Northeast India, and he happened to come across, not in Northeast India, in Thailand, and he came across a rhesus macaque skeleton inside the cave, very well preserved. So immediately he called me and said, do you want it? I said, of course I want it. So he sent it to me, and so that was one of the so all the bones of the animal is there, so I wanted that 3D scanned as well. So the student immediately started with these, we have two scanners, we have Einscan Pro and Arctec EVA at IIT Gandhinagar, and he also used photogrammetry.